AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplo. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Terrio, 1 hour from right now. Ross Jackson will be here in hour 3 to get us a Saints camp report. Chris Olave participating in full team drills, as one would expect after they gave him $90 million guaranteed. Whatever. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Sam Leavitt speaks! What? Amazing! I jest, sort of. The Huddle Women's Clinic happened at LSU, and Sam Leavitt, LSU starting quarterback, was one of the players who went and spoke there on stage, answered questions, whatever, at the women's clinic. And so, to the best of my knowledge, this is the first time that Sam Leavitt has spoken words into a microphone as LSU's quarterback. I mean, we all know the whole recruiting saga. And he talked about his decision to transfer to LSU, which we'll hear in a second. But remember, this is a guy who got Arizona State to the playoff 2 years ago, a season ago there, out in Tempe. Large expectations, even with Cam Scattaboo gone. He has the Liz Frank injury, plays in just roughly half the season a year ago, and then enters the transfer portal, much to the chagrin of Kenny Dillingham, the Arizona State coach. And it looked like he was going to land at LSU, and then he's on the visit, and there's the weird, awkward thing where he and Lane Kiffin are at the basketball game, and it looks real icy and cold, and then we learned about Damon Williams flirting with the portal, and Leavitt leaves, kind of ticked off, and then Lane does his rom-com thing and flies up to Knoxville like John Cusack and Say Anything, holding the boombox over his head, professing his undying love for Sam Leavitt before Leavitt went to his visit at Miami. Ultimately, Leavitt signs with LSU, and he gets here in the spring, and he can't really do anything. He's wearing sneakers and a helmet. He throws a little bit, but we don't really see him do anything at Tucson Longstreet and Landon Clark. And all throughout this time, throughout the offseason, we're told he's trending in the right direction. He looks really good. The GPS has him at 21 miles an hour. We see the video of him dunking on the goalpost inside of in the indoor facility. And then they don't bring him to SEC Media Days, so then we're all asking the question, are they hiding something? Is he really more injured than he is? And it's not just us. It was literally everybody at Tampa last week at Media Days saying, is something wrong with Leavitt? Why isn't Leavitt here? It was something I had asked by everybody that interviewed me last week. And now finally, Sam Leavitt speaks. So, I mean, this is like, if Terrio were here, he'd be like, this is like pulling a one-of-one card. Is that a good analogy, Muse? A one-of-one?
I mean, I think so, yeah.
An of one? Or an of five? Maybe an of five.
Of five? Because he is going to speak again.
Yeah.
We think.
The of one, that would be like the Shohei card that sold for $10 million yesterday.
Bro.
Yeah, not that. We'll call this an of five. How about that? Anyway, listen up. The first words that Sam Leavitt has spoken into a microphone as the LSU quarterback, talking about his decision to transfer to LSU.
Yeah, just looking back at my process, I think leaving ASU, I had a comfortable situation, walking the building, I saw my guys, built great relationships, won a lot of games there. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, and it's funny, that's kind of what everyone's saying around here is just different. It really is, on every aspect. Like, we come out here to the practices, the way individual reps are ran, the way that every single coach is just so poured into this, the time that we meet outside of, like the initial time we're supposed to meet, it truly is just a different situation. You talk about being a pro, trying to become the best version of yourself, and there's no other place to do it other than here. And, every single day I walk in the facility and I see Witt, Ty Benefield, all these dudes, and, you got to go against them every single day. And some pretty good players to play. So.
Awesome. He didn't really say anything, but it doesn't really matter. We got words from Sam Leavitt. He's not a mute. He can speak words.
No, he spoke well too. He had the one little step there, the misstep
Did you notice?
there.
Pull that up, by the way. I don't want to highlight it for an obvious reason. No, what are you laughing at? Why do you think I don't want to highlight it? Hey, why do you think I don't want to highlight it?
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't
Why do you
listening.
think I don't want to highlight it? You were laughing.
Because I think he was probably about to say something he wasn't supposed to say.
Yeah. Play it again. So this was Leavitt when he. Yeah, go ahead.
So poured into this, the time that we meet outside of, like the initial time we're.
Oops.
Probably not supposed to be meeting outside the facility. I know what he means, though. Anyway, let's don't celebrate it. We'll just move past it. But it's exciting to hear Sam Leavitt. Look, I've said this all off season as everyone's asked, hey, man, how do you think they're going to be? You think they're going to be in the playoff? And I say the same thing to everybody. I'm like, I don't know until I see Sam Leavitt. Because look at all of Kiffin's teams that have had success. And the commonality is you've had the quarterback. That goes without saying. I mean, look at what happened to LSU last year. The number one portal class, quarterback had a cyst on his back, on his spine, and it derailed the whole season. I haven't seen Sam Leavitt play yet. And I saw him play 2 years ago at Arizona State, and it was good. I mean, he threw for 2,800 yards. That's good, not great. But Cam Scatterby ran for 1,700 that season. So there's a lot that's going to go into the LSU offense being whatever it might be able to be. But Leavitt, as a fourth-year player, you're bringing him in with the idea of him being the guy that can accelerate this offense. And in more than half of Lane Kiffin's seasons at Ole Miss, the quarterback was the second leading rusher in that offense. Whether it was Jackson Dart or Trinidad Chambliss, Matt Corral, rely on the quarterback to make plays with his feet. And so I got to see a healthy Sam Leavitt. It's why, if you want to take it to a high school recruiting component that we've talked about a bunch, it's why this staff was pot committed on Pop Houston and not Elijah Haven. You got to be able to move. They want a quarterback that can run. They have their system. Like, if we have spent 7 months dissecting Lane Kiffin, Billy Glasscock, how they manage a roster, how they manage a cap, how they build a roster. We pieced together the puzzle. It's like you take the 5,000-piece puzzle or 500-piece puzzle, and you dump them all on the table, and you got to scatter all the pieces and you put the corners together first, and then the main image or whatever it is. Like, we've done that with Lane Kiffin all offseason. Every time he's talked, we've tried to piece together the puzzle of how he builds a roster. And it's just that picture is coming into focus. But this has to be a thing where Leavitt is good and healthy and ready to roll. And by the way, remember, at Media Days last week, we caught up with Brooks Austin, the film guy, as he's known. His YouTube channel is The Film Guy. Played Division II college football. Now his thing is he breaks down film and does a great job doing it. This is what Brooks Austin told us on AFR last week at Media Days about Leavitt.
These are two silos of conversations, right? Okay. What Sam is at Arizona State, what he has put on film, and what I know Lane Kiffin and that offensive brainstem is going to make him into. The playmaker and the quarterback that I saw at Arizona State, the only word I could use to describe it is frantic. I compared him, honestly, to Trae Young, the basketball player, where, like, Trae Young would come down court, hit a freaking shot from the logo, and then the next possession go down and get blown by and give up a dunk, right? And as a fan, you're having these ups and downs of this player. Sam is that to me at Arizona State, where one play he'll do something absolutely miraculous. He'll evade a rush, he'll spin out backwards and then throw a 45-yard bomb, and it'll be a touchdown. And then the next play, it's like, hey, dude, it was right there. Just take that. You know what I mean? Just do the simple stuff. And I think that is what Lane and Charlie Weiss Jr. and Danny Stevens, the quarterback coach over there at LSU, that's what they're great at ingraining into their players. It's like, hey, just trust what we got going on a little bit more. And now, especially with headsets and the ability to pull that microphone down and talk to that quarterback and give him the answers, I've actually gone about saying this way. I think Sam Leavitt's going to get an NFL GM fired. And it's not his fault, okay? It's not the GM's fault. What it's going to be is Lane Kiffin's going to make that guy look like a god.
So good. I want to remind you, though, one of the knocks on Leavitt that we've heard pretty consistently is, well, he's got to protect the football. We talked about this with Drew Fabianich from the Senior Bowl as well. You said you'll live to play another day. I want to remind you, at Michigan State, he threw a couple of picks as a freshman. He limited action. He only had 23 pass attempts. 2024, that the year they went to the playoff, he threw 24 touchdowns and 6 picks. He protected the football. And then last year at ASU, 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. And again, that was in limited playing time, playing in 8 games because of the injury. But I guess my point is, the perception of Leavitt is gunslinger, careless with the football. The numbers don't actually play that out. So we're going to start to get a close look at Sam Leavitt. But he spoke. He spoke into a microphone. What did you think of his voice? Good tone? Good tonality?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Good tone. Like, thought he spoke well. It doesn't sound like he spits too much when he talks. So, I mean, that's a good thing. You want that in your quarterback, obviously. Very professional.
Yeah. You want a good texture on the voice.
Good texture. I mean, is in the indoor facility.
Played a little bit. I want to that wasn't indoor. I think was that indoor? Or was that?
It was in the indoor. That's why it's a little echoey.
Was it South Stadium?
Indoor.
It was indoor. Played again. Yeah.
Into this, the time that we meet outside of like the initial time we're supposed to meet, it truly is just a different situation. You talk about being a pro, trying to become the best version.
Sounds good. Thank you. Sam Leavitt. Cherish it. The great Sam Leavitt. The great Sam Leavitt has spoken. Oh, you weren't here for the great Joe Burrow Day.
I was on OTB, I believe it. No,
2018.
Wait, that would have been summer of 2018. So yeah, I wasn't here yet.
May of 2018.
I wasn't here yet.
When the great Joe Burrow committed to LSU. I called him the great Joe Burrow the day he committed.
You predicted a Heisman that day too, didn't you?
I don't know if I predicted a Heisman. Might have.
I think you did.
I
think you did.
I need all the wins I can get. Cue the tape. Find it.
I probably could. I think we played that after he won the Heisman Trophy in 2019. Wasn't Terry? It was a Friday with Terrier that y'all did that, wasn't it?
It was a Friday that he committed. I called him the great Joe Burrow. Boy, people were just like so wanting something. Something. Remember, like, that's still when LSU quarterbacks suck.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, there was no Joe Burrow yet. And Jaden Daniels and Nuss throwing for 4,000 yards. And everybody wanted him to be so good. The great Joe Burrow.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
Apropos. All right, it's after further review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light. The official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. I went to lunch. I actually went and saw Hanny and Max today and went and had lunch at Rufino's. And as I was pulling in, I like to do that about once a month. As I was pulling in, a giant Bud Light 18-wheeler pulled in front of me. I was like, look at that. So appropriate. Football season's almost here. Tailgate season's almost here. Still awesome to hang out during the weekend by the pool, maybe throwing some meat on the grill, whatever you do. Cool off with a refreshing, delicious, crisp, ice-cold Bud Light. The official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Friday edition of AFR. Terrio's here in 45 minutes. We're looking forward to that conversation. Saints are back on the practice field. Ross Jackson will be here in hour number 3. I'll give you some of my thoughts when we continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. Remember, over at Watermark Baton Rouge, it's always a great reason to get by Watermark. A couple of weeks from now is the Best Dressed Capital Gala Best Dressed. can't wait for that event. One of the best nights in Baton Rouge annually down at the River Center. Why not stay at Watermark Baton Rouge? You can walk from Watermark to the River Center, make it super convenient. You don't have to worry about driving or being inconvenienced. Get a good night's sleep and head home on Sunday morning. It's Watermark Baton Rouge, right there downtown at the corner of 3rd and Convention. Maybe you have family or friends or clients coming in for a football game this year. Make sure they know about Watermark Baton Rouge. Stay downtown, easy drive right up Nicholson to Tiger Stadium. Fantastic place to stay, beautiful amenities. The Gregory there in the lobby, great place for Sunday brunch, business lunch, any day of the week. It's Watermark Baton Rouge. Check it out downtown. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It's obviously awesome for our team, awesome for Chris, just awesome for what he's gone through in his career, the success he's had, also the things he's had to navigate. And, at the end of the day, like when everyone's shooting for the same goal, it's a matter of time before it gets figured out. And, sometimes the business part takes a little precedent, which is fine. And, I think everyone's really, really excited with where this thing's going.
Kellen Moore meeting with reporters after practice on Friday, day 3 of Saints training camp. And the first time that Moore and Olave and the whole lot of them were able to speak to reporters after the Saints and Chris Olave have agreed to a contract extension. I think everybody knows by now where I stand on this. It's nothing new. What I said a day ago isn't anything new. It's what I've said literally all along throughout this entire process. As a matter of fact, about a month ago, I think we did a segment where I said, I know they're going to pay him $30 million a year. I'm just doing this preemptively to say I know they're going to do this, and I'm not going to be in favor of it when they do. So, true to form, I'm not in favor of it. I think two things can be true. I think Chris Olave is a really, really good and productive NFL player. I don't think he's the 6th best receiver in the National Football League. I don't think he's a top 10 receiver in the National Football League. I think PFF ranked him 12th. I think we've seen other of those metrics that have him somewhere in the teens, 20s. One of the things that I look at a lot is that I would argue actually is my biggest maybe criticism of Chris Olave is the contested catch rate, where in 2025, like a career year for Chris Olave, he was not in the top 25 in the NFL in contested catch rate. For example, Stephon Diggs led the NFL at 83%. Luther Burden, Puka Nacua, Jalen Coker, Khalil Shakir, Sterling Shepard, Juju, JSN, Zay Flowers, Debo, Marvin Mims, Michael Pittman, Kayshon Boutte. I mean, you're talking about a lot of guys who outperformed Olave, whose contested catch rate last year was at 47.1%. So he came down, contested catch rate was less than 50%. This is according to PFF, by the way, where the best in the NFL was Stephon Diggs at 83%. So can you go make a contested catch? Olave has not been a guy who's consistently done that. Maybe that's part of my frustration. In any event, the deal's done, and they've got Chris Olave locked up for the next 4 years, $90 million guaranteed. My hope is that he goes and has all-pro caliber seasons and makes me look really stupid, and you can all point and laugh. Won't be the first time you point and laugh at me. I hope I'm dead wrong, and I hope he's awesome. Olave did talk about what it means for him finally getting this deal done.
They feel good. It was kind of a deal. We kind of had to meet halfway. Of course, the injuries and everything that happened. Just like I said, the uncertainty in the future, especially with the blood clot, the concussions. We kind of met halfway. They did a great job of communicating that, and I feel like I said, that my agent and them came to a good deal for both of us.
It's a little jarring hearing him say we met halfway, because at an average annual value of $33 million, that makes him the 6th highest paid receiver in the NFL, which tells you clearly not halfway. It's not 50% of the deal he wanted, but he very likely wanted to have a deal that approached what JSN got. And that should never happen. And thankfully, the Saints didn't get to that point. And I actually don't even think necessarily that the concussions are the things that should be the detriment. I mean, Chris Olave, after the concussions, limited him to 8 games in 2024. played a full season last year and had his most productive year. And I would say in a contract year, but the Saints picked up his fifth-year option, so it wasn't necessarily a contract year. I mean, the Saints had other options. I mean, they could have let Chris Olave play out this year, the fifth year of his contract, and see how it went. And if he had another great year, cool. Franchise him. And you could sort of continue to kick the proverbial can down the road before you had to pay him. But ultimately, they love the player. They love Olave, the teammate, the locker room guy, the commitment to winning, the commitment to New Orleans. And that's something Olave talked about as well with reporters, was what playing for the Saints and what the organization has meant to him.
It means a lot, man. They mean a lot to me, especially trading up to get me. That was the first thing that meant a lot to me. Didn't really know where I was going to go in the draft, but they came up to get me, and it meant a lot to me to be able to stay here for a long time, especially us building momentum over the years. Kind of start off slow with all the tough seasons at first, but just last year it meant a lot, especially at the end of the year, just building momentum with Tyler back there, Kellen at the top. I feel like I believe in them a lot, so especially as a receiver, just depending on them. They did a great job, especially they're both great leaders, so it meant a lot to me to be able to stay here a long time.
We're going to let you hear a little more from Olave about Shuck, about working with Jordan Tyson. That's all coming up in a second. But I also don't think it should be underestimated. You know, Chris Olave came to New Orleans during some crap years, flatly. I mean, he showed up here post Peyton Breeze, and you're talking about a guy that has never experienced what it's like to win in New Orleans. I mean, last year, as a rookie, they were 7-10 in 2022. Then they went 9-8, missed the playoffs, 5-12 in 2024, and then 6-11 this year. So they haven't really been a contending team or anything close to it, even in the 9-8 year under Dennis Allen. Like, that was an abysmal team that beat a lot of bad teams late. But you can kind of sense with Tyler Shuck, there's a different feeling around this Saints team. And Olave did talk about Tyler Shuck and what stands out. Remember, Olave went out to San Diego. We had Lance Moore on the show earlier this week talk about those workouts with Shuck and with Drew Brees out in San Diego.
You seen it last year. I feel like Tyler's done a great job. He just doesn't throw a catchable ball. I mean, of course he does that, but just the way he carries himself, just the way he prepares, is something I haven't seen before, second to none. So, like I said, he's going to be a great quarterback in this league for a very long time. I'm excited for him.
I mean, it's worth noting, if you think back through his years, last year was a weird hodgepodge with Rattler and Shuck. Prior to that, it was Carr and Rattler. Before that, it was Carr. And then if you go back to 2022, his rookie season, it was Andy Dalton who started 14 games that year when Olave was a rookie. So, and he had 1,000 yards that season, 1,042 yards, but he hasn't exactly ever had elite quarterback play. Hopefully that changes as well, what helps elevate the whole offense. Now, one other thing from Olave is about working with the rookie Jordan Tyson.
Of course, Jordan, he's super talented. I'm super excited for him. We got him that high for a reason, but just not trying to give him too much advice. I mean, he's here for a reason, but just trying to give him those advantages off the field, like the chef and all that type of stuff, training room, all the little things that we could gain advantage in and get ahead of other guys in the league. So, like I said, just being a helping hand to him and trying to do everything I can to just be there for him. But he's going to be a great player.
You know, when you think about some of the best offenses in the NFL, they do feature tandem wide receivers that perform exceptionally well. You know, the hope is when you look at like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in Cincinnati, or CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in Philadelphia, the Super Bowl team, when you had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and you hope that's what they're trying to build here with these two guys, and that they can both flourish in this offense and continue to be very productive. So use the 9th overall pick on Tyson, use the 11th pick on Olave. Now you've given him a $132 million contract. These guys need to produce and help elevate the young quarterback that they're putting so much stock in. So first opportunity for Olave and Kellen Moore to speak since Olave's contract. Everybody's saying the right things, and they'll see if he can go out and perform as we get closer to the 2026 season. Much more from practice here on Friday. Ross Jackson will be with us in about 90 minutes from right now to kick off hour number 3 of the Saints practice report. You can get Ross's full report for free up at louisianasports.net. It's there right now. Every day after Saints camp, Ross does a very comprehensive report, always free, louisianasports.net. Go check it out. It's published right now. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades, Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. 95 degrees right now in Baton Rouge. 95 degrees, that's the air temp. Heat index over 100 degrees. That means that your home, your AC's got to work super hard to keep your home cool. One way you can lower your energy bills during these warm weather months, install energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. This is an investment into your home. It's going to reduce costly air leaks. It's going to make your home more energy efficient. Your AC is not going to have to work as hard to keep your home cool, which means your AC bills, your energy bills are going to go down. As you save money each month on your energy bills, in time, these energy-efficient replacement windows pay for themselves. You're also going to see your appraisal value on your home go up, so your resale value will go up, and comes a lifetime transferable warranty. You want the best? You want Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters and shades, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Okay, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Friday edition. We send you on into the weekend. Terrio's here in 30 minutes from right now. I did see Terrio at lunch today, and he told me that he pulled a monster card. Said he pulled a Connor Griffin signature.
Oh.
And I think he said an of 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, that's strong.
It's like a $6,000 card.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. He already listed it for sale.
Really?
It's already for sale.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me he wasn't selling Connor Griffins. That's what he said on the air.
Especially that. I mean, if Griffin has the career everybody thinks, it could be worth a lot more than
Well, that's what I told him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, what if he stinks? I'm like, well, that's the risk you take.
Man.
I know. Anyway. All right, Terry will be here in 30 minutes. He said he's got, this is what he texted me. This is, I guess, his thing now. He's coming up here bringing cards every week when he comes. He said, going to splurge on this rip today. Fingers crossed we pull a monster.
All right.
See what we get.
I mean, 2 in 1 day? He already got the Griffin.
It was yesterday.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he wants to see if he's hot. This is a heat check. That's what this is.
He's heating up. He's on fire. It's NBA Jam. It's a video game. NES. That's Nintendo Entertainment System. Don't worry about it, Muse. You don't know nothing about that.
I have older siblings that had those game consoles. I've played them before.
No.
Yeah.
Original Nintendo.
Yeah.
No. It was 1987, bro.
Yeah. My oldest sister was born in 83.
So she was not playing Nintendo at 4.
Maybe not at 4, but at 5, 6, 7, yeah.
And it was gone by the time you came around, Muse.
They still worked for us, man, I promise.
You were playing, you were born, no, you wouldn't have even been playing Super Nintendo. You were playing like Genesis.
No.
That's what you were playing, Sega Genesis.
Never had a Sega.
Me either. You're probably playing Nintendo 4.
I don't know what Nintendo 4 is.
Yeah, me either. PS4.
PS4? No,
that's the thing.
I never owned a PS4.
That's the thing, though.
I stopped at PS3, but no, I mean, I played the original Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2,
yeah, all
PlayStation 3,
see, none of that
Xbox,
counts.
all of that
that's
stuff.
All the stuff. That's all the stuff you played. You never played Nintendo.
I did.
No, you did. It's AFR.
AFR.
Stop lying, Muse. You liar. You know what doesn't lie? Pool and Spa Magazine. They don't lie. Thank you, professional radio guy. Pool and Spa Magazine came out with their list, the top 50 pool builders in America. They do that every year. Last year, Duplessis Builders was on the list. And the new list, which came out just about a month ago, Duplessis Pool's on the list. Back-to-back years, top 50 pool builder in America. No other pool builder in Louisiana made the list. And they've done it back-to-back years. So you don't have to take my word for it. Take the word of an industry trade who says, yes, Duplessis Pools is a top 50 pool builder in America and the only one in Louisiana to make that list. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. If you've ever thought of building that pool in your backyard, there's only one call you got to make. It's to Duplessis Pools. Start online today at DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. Love telling you about our friends over at River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com. Since 2001, it's a quarter century, y'all, doing amazing work. They do work from Baton Rouge to Chalmette. And at River Parish Contractors, their work is here and it's focused on you. They're not doing work in San Antonio. They're not interested in doing work in California. At River Parish Contractors, they're local. They're here. They're a stable, quality company. Their practices put in place are above and beyond. I've told you this before, but you don't get a job inside the fence if you don't have an exemplary safety record. At River Parish Contractors, they scored a 99 on a Fortune 500 company safety audit. Incredible. It's River Parish Contractors. Call, ask for Ronnie, Chad, Luke, Trey, Josh, Darren, Drew, any of my friends over at River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
The Protect College Sports Act might be dead. Well, if it's not dead, it's on life support. So the Senate adjourned, and I hate talking about, I don't even like talking about politics. This isn't necessarily politics, but it's college sports being interwoven into the space. But the Senate adjourned Thursday evening without scheduling a vote for the Protect College Sports Act. A day ago, administrators from the Big Ten, from the SEC, all the leagues, they held separate meetings to decide if they wanted to support the current iteration version of the Protect College Sports Act. And really the only thing that matters is what the SEC and the Big Ten think. And neither voted on the matter. So neither supported it or chose not to support it. They didn't vote on the current version of the bill. So I get asked it all the time. It's like, is this really even a partisan issue? Well, kind of, but not really. There are certainly Democrats that don't want to give a win, quote unquote, perceived or otherwise, to a Republican president. And there are, if you look at just the Big Ten and the SEC, the membership represents 26 states. So those 26 states, each having 2 senators, I mean, you would have a majority, right? If the senators from the SEC and Big Ten states voted in favor of the Protect College Sports Act, you would have a majority for this legislation to pass the Senate. The NCAA president, Charlie Baker, sort of implored the leagues to support it. But I think the leagues did right by saying we're not going to support it just to throw our support behind something that could potentially compromise their foothold in the landscape of college athletics. I think everyone agrees we would love to see structure. College athletics would be better with structure, with rules, enforceable rules by which every member institution had to follow. We just don't have that right now. We have state court judges that are granting TROs every time an athlete sues the NCAA. And so when the NCAA tries to enforce its rules, a state judge effectively overrules the NCAA. So the idea is that federal legislation would put a stop to that. If you had enforceable federal legislation, you'd have this one piece of legislation that could govern college sports, that could put a cap on spending, that could limit transfers, which I know a lot of people like. I don't. I wish they could transfer every year. I don't care. If a student can transfer every year, why can't a player transfer every year? Cap, transfers, media rights, all of it. I mean, you could, in theory, have all this done by the right piece of legislation, but there's verbiage in there that the heavy hitters don't like all of it. They're trying to make sure that they get enough of it their way, and they haven't been able to get to that point yet. So in any event, Y'all know how I feel. I felt it forever. We are heading for an inevitable break in college athletics, in particular college football, where college football will operate independently of the NCAA. It will be its own organization with its own TV contracts, its own set of rules that it governs. At that point, they could actually have the players as employees. Players could then unionize. That's ultimately where we're headed, to get structure. My one big question in that scenario is, okay, well, if college athletics or college football in this case is operating independently, do you have to be a student? Because in theory, if you're just hiring employees, they don't have to be enrolled at the university. So is the farce of a student athlete going to continue to be perpetrated? Where we just go hire the best football players, let them play for your team, and if they want to go to class, they can. We'll see. But anyway, that's the latest. No vote on the Protect College Sports Act. It's unlikely that we're going to see anything here this fall now at this point. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Pretty cool, man, to see the Saints back on the practice field for camp. And every time I get the photo gallery from one of our photographers who's down there, I'm looking at all the practice photos, you'll see it's so cool. You'll see the Rouse's logo, the Rouse's patch on the Saints practice jerseys. So love that the Saints and Rouse's are partnered together. Love that we're partnered with Rouse's. They've been a great partner of ours. And with football season right around the bend, whether you're watching a game and throwing some meat on the grill, or you need all of your adult beverages or beverages for the whole family, or you're planning your tailgate, you need your party platters and trays, Rouse's has it all. And if you're just doing your weekly grocery list, Rouse's has got you covered. Get your weekly ad there at the website, rouses.com. You can hit the weekly ad tab right there, see all the specials. So if you're buying on a budget, want to see what coupons you need to clip, rouses.com, rouses.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
FAU is set to hire Mississippi State Deputy AD Josh McCowan as their new athletic director. He's also served as Mississippi State's chief revenue officer. Sort of saw a pretty dramatic shift in focus generating revenue there at Mississippi State, and they've shattered a lot of records there. $84.6 million in fundraising this past year with 10 donations of $1 million or more. That surpasses the department's total from the entire decade before. So it is much fundraising in 1 year as they've done the previous decade there at Mississippi State under Josh McCowan, who's now headed to FAU.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Running backs coach Stan Drayton did an interview on 107.5 about the position group. Said that's a group with some depth, some talent. Won't be an issue there. Matt Fuller exited spring as the top performer on offense. He's the transfer who is set to be the starter against Kent State in the season opener. Christian Clark is also there among a variety of running backs vying for playing time for South Carolina.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Infielder Johnny Gomez, first team All-NEC from Fairleigh Dickinson, is the 14th portal addition for Dave Van Horn and the Hogs. Initially committed to Stetson this summer, but then re-entered the portal following a coaching change. Hit .376 last season with 10 homers. Was a semifinalist for the Brooks Wallace Award, given annually to the nation's best shortstop.
The Auburn Tigers.
And Auburn has launched a feasibility study around Neville Arena and Plainsman Park as they consider upgrades around those facilities. So Auburn's exploring a new ultra-premium membership club level at Neville Arena, which would have like hospitality, private bunker suites, all that good stuff. Be a $4.5 million project. And they're looking at an additional phase for Plainsman Park Baseball Stadium, which may introduce a rooftop club and a reimagined Yeti Yard experience. That project estimated to cost $4.9 million. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. DonJuanBatonRouge.com. DonJuanBatonRouge.com. If you want to visit the website, they basically made one website to combine both Don Juan Cigar Bar and the retail shop, Don Juan Cigar Company, DonJuanBatonRouge.com. It's interesting reading that that story about Auburn. And did y'all see a few weeks ago there was a commencement? I think it was at Stanford. I might be off on that. But one of the big AI company CEOs was giving the commencement address, and it was booed. A lot of the students walked out and was booed. And you may say, oh, Gen, what's this Gen what? Is this Gen Z?
I believe so in college right now. Yeah,
whatever the new Gens are. Whatever the new Gens are. But I think one of the things that's very interesting is you have young people who are exiting school, preparing to go in the workforce, and are having to compete with AI. And they're pushing back against it. And all this to say, I believe firmly, like physical, like tangible, experiential things are going to come back. You know what this? Everything that goes out of style comes back in style. Like I remember when I was in college, people started wearing bell bottoms again. It's like that was from the 70s, but it comes back. I mean, there's kids now, young people, who are wearing like grunge era stuff. Like people are wearing Birkenstocks and Doc Martens. I'm like, y'all wearing Doc Martens and Birkenstocks? My nephew wears Birkenstocks with socks, which is weird to me, but it's what they do. And it's so interesting because my niece wanted a record player. Like you can have any song you want at the tap of a button on this computer in your hand, and she wanted a physical record player, like vinyl. And I think it's just a cycle of everything coming back in. My point is, I think experiences are going to matter more and more for people. As we become more disconnected, more digital, people are going to crave physical, tangible things. And so you are going to see people wanting to come to games and events and things like that again, instead of just sitting at home watching on TV. But you got to make it worth their while. And so like Auburn doing a rooftop club at the baseball park, I think is an awesome idea. And I think you're going to see more stuff like that sort of come to be in vogue. And LSU should be wise. Been saying that for years. I think they should tear down the East Upper and build a party deck basically on top of the suites on the East Sideline and do something awesome that people would love to go see instead of having swaths of empty seats no one's ever going to fill, sitting high-five in St. Peter. But in any event, good on Auburn. I hope they do that. It'd be awesome. All right, it's After Further Review. Final break. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
After Further Review.
Man, about 15 minutes before I went on air today, my phone rang. It was Darren James. He said, you're going to tell everybody you talked to DJ today, huh? Darn right I am. Love my guy. He's awesome. Yesterday, I have a coworker who's listing their home, and they have a realtor already, but they were struggling with comps. The realtor isn't in this market. And so my coworker called me and said, hey, I know you have a great relationship with Darren James. Do you think he would help us with comps? I was like, yeah, because Darren's the best. Of course, he loves to help people to do whatever. So he did. They walked through the whole back office, how they come up with pricing, blah, blah, blah. Everything said, this is exactly what it should be. So all that to say, when I tell you Darren wants to get your home sold faster for more money, super ethical, wants to give you the best experience possible, there's a reason he sells more homes than anyone. He's the best, and he makes you feel awesome. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, get ready. In the same vein of remember me for centuries. Bro, how could you forget?
I haven't.
Ever. This is the song you're sure to hate because ESPN is going to hammer it into your brain every day for the next 5 months. I'm not even mad at him for it because it means college football is back. Hit it, Muse. It's Shabuzi. It's called High Noon. That's it.
Tell him he can get it back and meet at high noon and shut it down.
beat.
Beat's not bad.
This is the guy who did the something about another shot of whiskey.
Yeah, he ripped
one?
off Tipsy by Jaquan. Basically is what he did. It's like the same. It's basically the same song.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy?
Yeah.
They don't sound at all alike.
Yo, they do. Listen to them like together. The beat is basically the same beat. He's even talked about it.
To the 3 to the 4. That? No.
I'm telling you. I'm telling
you. No. I'm playing the song in my brain. Where did it go?
Sorry, it was about to curse. I had the lyrics pulled up.
Nobody would have known. We were just talking about.
Well, I'm glad I looked down. Because
I wonder if they're going to put that on High Noon.
I don't think.
That part on the
I don't think so. I even typed in a clean version and it just didn't pop up.
That's your song that'll be beaten into everybody's brain over the next 5 months every time ESPN plays a college football game. I just kind of wish, I'm a little nostalgic. I would just like the ESPN college football theme back, the one from the Mike Patrick, Ron. Oh,
didn't he just pass away too?
Not just. It's been a minute now, but Ron Franklin.
There it is.
Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, the late Adrian Karsten on the field. That's all right. I wouldn't expect you to have anything. Why would you have that ready for me? I don't know. Why would you have that ready?
I didn't know you were going there. First of all, I was trying to look it up.
That's fine. No, I'll do the mouth horn. It's way better that way.
It kind of is.
All right, Shabuzi is the new college football hype song. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. All right, Terry O's here for hour number 2. Stick around at AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank. HancockWhitney.com/Matt, the official banking partner of the LSU Tigers, the official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. How about that? Even gave us our own website. Use my name, MATT, HancockWhitney.com/Matt, if you're interested in learning more. I love being partnered with Hancock Whitney as an official banking partner of the LSU Tigers and the New Orleans Saints. You can actually get your custom debit card. Like, you can quite literally be a card-carrying member of the Houdat Nation or of Tiger Nation. They have the purple and the gold LSU cards, the black and gold Saints cards. I've had a gold Saints custom debit card forever. Probably need a new one. It's starting to like peel and crack. I've had it for so long. But anyway, you can do that at Hancock Whitney Bank. They got more than 180 full-service financial centers all over the South. 222 ATMs mean when you travel all around the South this football season, you're probably going to bump into a Hancock Whitney branch. So, HancockWhitney.com/Matt.